Hey, Tibbies! Woo! It's Psychic Bob. Well, welcome to Friday. Welcome to our new show. We're having FaceTime Friday with Psychic Bob. That's right. So many of you have written and you said, Psychic Bob, I would love to get to sit down and talk to you in person. And I'm hearing you. You know, Psychic Bob reads the mail and listens to all the comments. So, I started this show as a chance that we can all actually get to meet because I love to talk to you as much as you love to talk to me. And so I'm so glad that we're all together today. I see we got people already gathering over here in the chat. I see Gab's here all the way from England. Oh my gosh, look at that. Hey, Gab, good to see you. Pool Games for You is here. Yay, Ramona is here. Amanda's here. Yay, Ian is here. Oh my gosh, all the way from Ecuador. Yay, Super Saiyan's here. Wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Well, isn't this cool? I'm so glad you guys are gathering with us. There's unpronounceable username. Gosh, y'all are all coming in. Yay. Well, welcome to our show today. There's Laura, Miss Limitless. Hey, thank you. Gratitude and blessings to you too, darling. Thank you. Blessing. Oh my gosh, there's Davy Jan. Davy Jan's here all the way from Israel. There's Kathy all the way from Texas. Kermit Weimer's here. Hello, you're new to my channel. Kermit says, I'm new to your channel. Well, welcome, Kermit. For all the new people that don't know, I put out a video every single day, 7 days a week, because I love you guys. And Kermit, you might want to know that every Friday we do this. This is a new show we just started last week called FaceTime with Psychic Bob, and it's a live broadcast program where if you want to be on future episodes of this, all you got to do is send me an email to my email link, psychicbobhickman@gmail.com. That link will be in the info box below this video. And I just grab a bunch of letters each week and I contact people and say, hey, you want to be on the show live? And so I got a bunch of people lined up today, and you're going to get to meet some of your fellow YouTubers. A lot of you will know all these people. And if you don't know them, you'll get to know them because they're regulars here. And so I'm really excited today. We got a lot of wonderful people, and I'm excited to do their psychic readings. So so we're going to do little mini psychic readings for this. Now, I've been getting panicked letters. People say, well, Psychic Bob, are you no longer doing your Sunday live readings and your Tuesday? Nothing is changing at Spirit Channel except our Friday show. Our Friday show is now going to be live FaceTime. We're still going to have our Sunday night hangout with Psychic Bob where I take chat readings. We're going to still have our Tuesday messages from the spirit world, and both of those shows are also live. But today's show is a little different from the other two in that I'm actually bringing people on physically on camera, so you can see them and I can see them, and we can all see each other. So it's a little different, FaceTime with Psychic Bob. And this show is for people who've been dying to talk to me in person, like one-on-one. So that's what we're doing today. So welcome, and I hope you'll follow us each Friday for the show. Well, I'm going to bring in our first guest. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, we got to do a blink meditation so we can open the channel. So I want everybody just to get comfortable. This is a meditation where we're going to just fill ourselves with light. Just a real quick thing. Everybody has a physical body. It's like this lamp, okay? But inside our physical body, there's a soul, a spirit soul. And blink meditation means that we take our inner power, we turn it on, and we light our entire body with light, just like that. So we're going to do that now. So I want you to get comfortable. Take your hands off your keyboards. And we're going to just close our eyes for a moment. And as we close our eyes, I want you just to slowly follow your breathing and let go all the tensions of the day. And as you follow your breathing, I want you to draw your attention now down to the middle of the chest area. And inside of you, in the middle of the chest, you're going to see a little spark of white light. And I want you to see this spark of light now. See it become a little brighter and a little larger. And as you focus on that light, we're going to count from 3 down to 1. And when you get to 1, we're going to blink on that light and fill our entire bodies from head to toe. So just focus on that light now. So we're going to count down. 3, 2, 1. Blink on. Ooh. I always get a little bit of a head rush when I do that. All right. Ooh. Are we all blinked on? Yay. All right. Well, welcome to Friday FaceTime with Psychic Bob. All right. We've got up here, I believe this is Justin C. Come on in here, Justin. Hi, Justin. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing well, thank you. This is so cool to get to talk to you face to face.
It really is.
Yay. Well, you've been a regular follower here at Spirit Channel, I hear.
Yeah, for quite a long while.
Isn't that wonderful? Thank you for your support.
Anytime.
I hear you have some questions for me.
Yes, I do. I just wanted to thank you kindly for reading when I was in the hospital about my foot. You saved my foot. It's actually almost completely recovered.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Wow. Okay.
But after that, I ended up almost having a near-death experience. I filled up full of 4 liters of fluid and ended up with an pneumonia and an ICU and all that jazz. And
wow.
I did fully recover after seeing your buddy Ray K. Reverend there. He helped me recover.
I'm so glad.
But during that process stage, I ended up having a lot of spiritual activity, and I ended up getting scratched like you wouldn't believe. And I was kind of wondering if you'd be able to read what was doing that. I still have scratches on this arm here from when it happened.
Yeah, you know, I have to be honest with you, Justin. This is not going to be a pleasant thing to hear, but you know, Psychic Bob, he's brutally honest.
Yep.
What that is, that's lower astral entities that have attacked you.
Yeah.
Now, what's happened is because you were near death, whenever somebody's near death, they literally cross out of their body and they're right on the edge of, we call it being on the edge of the etheric. Right. And so you were right on the edge between two worlds. Now, the initial entry into the spirit world is at a very low level, even for spiritual people. It's kind of like you enter a house on the bottom level and then you climb steps, okay? So everybody that goes to the spirit world starts on the base level and then they ascend. Yes. Oh, are we still broadcasting?
Yeah, you're still broadcasting.
Okay. Okay. I got to notice there was a problem. What happens in your case is that because your body was physically struggling, you didn't have the reserves to push yourself up to the higher spirit realms. Okay. And on a soul level, you knew it was not your time to go. So you were trying to hang on to be here, but you got kind of stuck between both realms.
Yeah, I remember. I do remember seeing the tunnel of light, and then I was slammed back in the body right away.
Okay, see, so you were right on the edge of the etheric. Now, what's happened is that during that period, you brought back to yourself some of these low-level entities.
Okay, I kind of figured.
They're not necessarily deadly, evil things. They're just annoyances, and they can harass us a little bit. These are, you might want to think of them as spoiled children.
Because when they scratch, they do burn.
Yeah, well, they're low level. So what you want to do is you need to cleanse your aura. So what I want you to do is I want you, if you can, take a bath in half a cup of sea salt, half a cup of baking soda. Okay. What that does, that will strip off your aura because these entities get attached to your aura. That bath is very purifying and it will strip them off your aura. And you should start to see a decrease in that activity.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks a bunch, man. Thanks for doing this.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Did you have any other questions or is that all?
No, I do have a few other ones. I do have an issue with feeling the earth rotate, and it's really bad at night. And I don't know if it's me or my energy, or do I need to ground myself more, or what have you?
Yeah, that's a grounding thing. See what happens, and this doesn't surprise me to hear this. Whenever somebody is on the edge of death, what many times happens, they come back, but they never fully reintegrate to this world. It's hard to come back after you've been in that near that light, the spirit world. Yeah. It's like hard to be here. And part of you on a soul level is still wanting to be there. Right. So one of the things is you do need to ground down. I would recommend that you get the gemstone black tourmaline and put that in your bedroom, especially. Is that where you say you have it in the morning you wake up, or is it like?
Yeah, I do have black tourmaline sitting here on my desk.
Keep it by your bed as well.
Okay.
Get as big of a piece as you can. Put it by your bed, like on your bedstand or like right above your bed, because that will anchor you more to your body. Okay.
Right.
And that should take care of that. One of the things also, when you get up in the morning, I want you to clap your hands really loudly. I'm not going to do it now because it'll ground me down. I'm in my etheric place, but clap your hands really loudly. That will more anchor you to your body and stamp on the floor.
Cool. Okay. All right. And I do have one final one.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to be having issues manifesting positive experiences. Every negative thing I've ever thought or have dreamt of has come true more than the positive stuff. And I was kind of wondering if something is blocking me from manifesting my positive experiences.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's the influence of the lower astral entities. These entities that are on the low astral plane, they create havoc. Sometimes they manifest what we call poltergeist activity, and poltergeist activity can create disruption on every level of our life. And even people that aren't involved with our near death, that in our life can have that influence affect them as well. So by doing those baths that I suggest, I'd say do it like twice a week. You know, the salt and baking soda bath, that's going to clear that off. Then once you work with the black tourmaline, you ground yourself down, they won't have as much influence. Right. You know, I don't see this as a long-term problem for you. I think it's really it's a short-term problem. It's what I call residual energy that's left over from that astral experience.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Thanks a bunch, man. Take care, Psychic Bob.
Thank you so much for being here, Justin. Thanks for your kind feedback as well. I'm glad you're with us still.
Yeah, me too. That was all I can remember. It was a peaceful experience, and I wasn't aware of anything that was going on until the medic told me if I didn't leave my oxygen mask on, I wasn't going to make it till I get to the hospital. So that's how I knew I was in transition phase there.
Well, guess what? I don't see you going anytime soon. Awesome. You're here a long time.
Thank you,
Thanks for being here. Blessings to you. Have a good day. Cheers.
Yeah,
bye-bye. Oh my gosh, isn't that wonderful? Justin is so nice, a longtime viewer here. You know, I've been on YouTube over 12, almost over 13 years now. It's weird how the years go, but this is so great. Well, we've got another person here that wants to come in, and let's see who we've got here. Oops, let's see. There's Amy. Amy Radcliffe. Hello, welcome, Amy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad I made it today. Can you hear me?
You're
Can you hear me? Bob, you froze. Bob. No.
All right, guys, bear with us. We're having some issues. Hello,
can you hear me? I can hear you.
Welcome,
can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, thank you so much for working out the tech issues. Well, welcome to the show today. I hear you have some questions for me.
Yes, I wanted to know, since I'm taking your psychic classes, which everybody should take.
Oh, thank you.
What will my strength be as far as working as a psychic?
Yeah. I think you have a real gift in the area of clairvoyance. I think visions come to you very powerfully, and I keep seeing that expanding. I'm literally getting a lot of light here in the third eye area for you. I'm also hearing voices around you. I don't know if you've been having clairaudient experiences, but I feel like that really kick in here.
Every now and again, I hear something, but it's muffled, and I can't hear it.
Well, that's going to increase over this next year. So you're going to find that that's a new ability that really comes in and takes off with you. Okay. But I
Okay.
think clairvoyance is your thing. You know, I keep seeing you working with missing person cases. And I feel like
Really?
that's going to be an ability that you have to help find missing people or, you know, like crime situations.
Hmm.
So I want you just to remember I said that because I think you're going to find that like somebody comes to you and says, oh, my, you know, my cat's missing or my child's missing, God forbid, you know, and you're going to be able to say, you know what, I see them. They're down by the creek and you'll be able to go right to where they are, you know. That's a
That's
gift of
cool.
clairvoyance. That's where I see you really having a lot of success.
Good, good. That's what I want to hear.
All right.
My
Do you have
next
another question?
question,
Yeah, go ahead.
is who is my psychic, my spirit guides?
Yeah, well, you got a lot of people around you. When I'm talking, I'm literally getting this chorus of voices here around you. I keep picking up around you Edgar Casey today.
And
Now, I have to be honest, you don't own him exclusively. He works with different
no,
people. He comes to
I
me
can
and says,
imagine.
but I hear him around you. I'm hearing him say, he said, I've got her under my wing. That's the word he said. Are you familiar with Edgar Casey?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, he's working with you. Okay. There's also somebody else around you, and I keep getting the name Jed around this. There's
Jed?
a man named Jed. Yeah, Jed, like Jeddah. It might have been his name, but Jed. He goes by.
Uh-huh.
And he's around you. And what's interesting is he talks like he's from like a different time. He sounds like he's from like, you know, in the 1800s, people had a little more formal speech.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, my name is Jed. And he said, it would be of my best wish to be of service to her and to the spirit world. He speaks a little formal. And Jed he was a medium back in his day. He was a visionary and a medium. And I believe
Okay.
he's coming in to help you understand how to connect with earthbound souls as well. So I think you're going to do some work with earthbound souls, and Jed's going to help you with that.
Okay. I won't call him Socrates anymore.
You can call it whatever you want, but his name is Jed.
And my third one was what spirit guides, what do they have any messages of what I can do to make my psychic abilities go
Yeah,
along easier and farther? What can I do besides taking your classes?
yeah. Mr. Casey's hearing you. He's just saying something. Hold on. He said to tell you, he said, just be consistent. That's his word. He said, you've got to be consistent because he said, you don't sit every day at the same time. And he said that sitting every day at the same time was going to help you. That's it. Because he said, I can be there, but be consistent. So that's his word.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense? Okay. That's
Yeah.
what he told me. So I'm not accusing you. I just said that's what he said. Okay.
It's true. It's true. I
Okay.
do it all during the day at different times, sometimes at night, sometimes during the day, but it's when I can find peace and quiet. That's
Okay. So you might want to just block off a time and like put it literally on your calendar. Let nothing interfere with it as much as you can, because he said he'll be there once you get a consistent time. He'll be there more regularly, and you're going to feel
okay.
his presence stronger. Okay.
All right. Great.
Hey,
Thanks.
oh my gosh, Amy, it's so good to have you here. Thank you for watching the show and being part of it.
Oh, I've been with you for 3 years now.
Has it been that year? Wow. I don't know where the years go. I just blinked.
I don't either.
You know? Oh my gosh. I can't believe we're at the end of August already. You know? Where'd
Yeah.
summer go? Well, listen, thank you for
I
your
don't know.
questions. So also, thank you for your support for my classes. I'm going to do a plug here for my classes. For those of you who don't know, I do a weekly psychic development class, and you can join that every week. Amy's a regular there, and every week we have a new topic. It's open enrollment, so you can come and go as you please. And the class cost for each week's class is $30. It's about a 2-hour class. So this Saturday, we're going to have a class. We're going to talk about how to connect to animals and spirit and your beloved pets, how to get your totem animal guides, and how to communicate with your pets. So if you've been wanting to connect with your animals and spirit, you know, 'cause people call me up all the time and say, "Psych Bob, I feel like there's a there's an eagle around me or something. Is there an eagle? And I'll say, yes, there is. I'll pick it up. So if you've been wondering if there's an animal spirit guide, you've been wanting to know how you could get an animal spirit guide, come to this Saturday's class. It's only $30. Register at my website is PsychicBob.com. Right there below my fingers, my website. You'll see a PayPal button. Just click on that, and that'll be your registration. And I'll get the notice. And I'll send you a link on Saturday morning. It's real easy, isn't it, Amy?
It is. It is easy, and you explain it in a way that people understand.
Well, thank you. I try to really make it a good teaching. I give a lot of energy. And, I have to tell people, and you can confirm this, it's not a class where I spoon feed you. You're going to have to work. I make people do exercises.
Yeah.
We have group interactions. So it's a very dynamic class. So if you'd like to be part of that and hone your own psychic skills and learn how to connect in my techniques that I teach, come out to Saturday's class. I hope you'll see you there. I think you'll enjoy it. Amy, I'll see you this Saturday, I know.
Yep. See you in the morning.
Awesome. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Thanks to you. All right. All right. Oh, my gosh. Let's see here. All right. We've got Aaron coming up next here. Hold on just a second, Aaron. Let me get you in.
Hello.
There you are. Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm glad you're here today.
Glad to be here.
Yay. Well, I hear you have some questions for me.
Yeah, I do have three if we get to them. The first one would be there's a career opportunity where I have a third interview next week. I'm a government contractor, so I have to keep the feelers out,
Okay.
not knowing if we have another year on the contract.
Okay.
So I have a third interview at a nonprofit, and I had attempt at it quite a few years ago, and I loved being there. And I wondered if you think that's a good thing to pursue.
My spirit guide Fletcher just said yes. He said that they like you and you'll like them. So it looks like it's a good opportunity. And I think the money and the benefits will work well for you there.
Yeah, the benefits are higher and the money lower.
But see, it'll balance out. You're going to feel more secure there.
Yeah.
I feel like even if the money's a little lower, the benefits are going to even that out. And I feel the security makes it in such a way that you'll grow financially while you're there. You're not going to be behind where you are, actually. Even though it's a little lower money, it'll be a good move for you.
Yes, I wondered because they have more leave, and I might need that for my family,
Yeah, I think it's a good move for you, and I think the prospects look very good around it. Fletcher said yes.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you. And the other one would be, I've not really been doing the work that you had recommended with the candle and the soul contract and all that, not because I don't want to, but because my family's situation has really, I know you said it was supposed to get easier, but it looked pretty horrible this week. It looked more horrible. And now it's kind of like getting more help with it, but the situation is worse than what I imagined it was. And I was like, oh my God, so now I don't know what the question is, but I wonder, you said the money's coming, but I'm like, from where and what are my best courses of action, I think now?
Well, in regards to your family situation, I think there's a holding pattern there. But I don't see it actually declining because I feel that there's going to be some openings in terms of the financial assistance that will yet come. I think that that's been delayed, and I think that as we get into the end of this month, some new opportunities are going to present themselves around that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I also want you, one of the things I want you to do there is I want you to revisit social services and see if you can reach some nonprofits, because one of the things that I feel is that there's kind of a third party that comes in to bring some extra financial help to that situation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then also in terms of your financial position, I don't see you being drained going forward. I think this again is a temporary pattern. And I think September forward for you really starts to bring balance back to this. So unfortunately, you are in a bit of a holding pattern, but it's not going to be devastating. I can tell you that. Okay.
Yeah, there has been quite a bit of money expenditure, trying to keep everybody okay up there. So, okay, then, okay, I'll let that one go. I'll let that one go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I guess the third one, does Spirit have anything to say about my love life?
Yeah. Well, I think right now you're in a bit of a holding pattern there too. I hate to say that, okay?
Definitely.
But see, from a soul level right now, you've got all your energy expended on healing work. Whether you realize or not, you're actually healing your family. And so with your situations that are going on there, you're being a healer. And sometimes what happens is, when Spirit has a work for us to do, things in other areas just get put on delay.
Sure.
I think that once we're into like the months of October, November timeframe, I feel like you're feeling a lot more balanced. And around that time, I feel like you're going to have a more open rapport in terms of social life and relationships. So I just don't get a lot of energy there till like end of October going into November. Okay.
Yeah, true. I've not really been able to think about it or put any energy towards it. You're right. I just wondered what you project or what Spirit projected about that. Any people come to mind or situations where I meet people?
I see a guy now. This is the part you're going to hate me for, but
go ahead.
I see you meeting somebody and you're going to say, Bob, don't tell me this. But when you're up at your mom's place, this is somebody that lives in that area. I feel like you connect with them. It's almost like sounds weird. It's almost like a therapy center or some type of patient care center that you're visiting with your mom. Might be a physical therapy thing. But I see somebody there who also has a parent in a similar situation. And I think you keep running into this person. It's a man that I see, really nice looking, brown hair, has a mustache. The name Steve or Steven may be connected to this. But I get that, like, again, probably beginning in November time frame. And it's funny because you keep running. It's like you go to the snack room to buy a snack while you're waiting. He's there. And then you go back and you're in the lobby taking your mom to the car. And then it's like you just keep having this. And that's how you'll know. And it'll be really easy to talk to him. And I think you'll exchange emails. So it may end up being a little bit of a long distance situation because I think he lives up in that area. But that's okay. People work that out. But that's where I'm seeing a connection happening.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Well, thank you for being here today. It's so good to see you again, and I'm sending blessings to you.
And you too, Bob. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Have a good one. All right. Yay. Oh, my gosh. All right. Let's see who else we got up here. Oops, hold on. All right. We've got Lorena here. Hi, Lorena. How are you?
How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you.
I hear you have some questions for me.
I'm so honored. Okay. I wanted to know this at night. I don't sleep well, and I sometimes have memories of some of my dreams. And for years now, some of the places that I go feel like homes I used to live in, but they're different. Am I astral traveling, or am I just having dreams?
In your case, I think it's just dreams, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I said it doesn't mean you don't have the power to astral travel, but what I'm being shown when I step into your energy is Fletcher's back here. I've always got his voice in my ear. So he said his words literally were, he said, these are dreams because she's not going to a deep enough REM to transition to the spirit world.
Okay.
So this, is where this is happening. Now, our minds are always processing so much information. Yeah. And, I think that the thing is that, once you get some balance in that sleep cycle, and I do feel there'll be some healing there, you're going to start to have much more vivid, clear dreams, and they'll actually be nourishing, not strange or kind of abstract. And so when you have a spirit
Okay.
encounter, it gets much more vivid, and it's actually very beneficial to your life. It doesn't mean dreams aren't beneficial too, but I feel like spirit has more for you that's going to be much more profound in the coming months here.
Okay. No, thank you. My
Mhm.
second question, and this is a follow-up on you giving me the most incredible reading of my life, which I want to thank you for. You are just so gifted and so kind. I have to just put a shout out to you, and brilliant on so many levels. Things were supposed to start happening right now for me in terms of career, job. This is the first time in my life I'm entrepreneurial. I don't seem to have direction or a download. Am I not hearing spirit? Is there something I should be doing, or just stay calm?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm going to say stay calm, because this feeling of being blocked that you may be feeling right now, what that's coming from is you're physically being taxed. Until that sleep cycle balances, you're having a little bit of disconnect from your higher self. Doesn't mean you're not spiritual, but it means that that channeling process that would normally occur. A lot of people don't notice at night when we sleep, we channel, at least those of us who are open to spirit. Don't block it. We channel and see what's happening is because you're not going into that deep REM sleep. You're not getting the full interface, what I call the full interface with spirit. So that's why you're feeling like during your day, like I'm missing something. I think that's going to settle out here. And I really think in literally the next 2 weeks, that'll start to improve for you. One of the things that I'd like you to do to help get that going is, you remember, like I told Justin earlier about the special salt, is when you take a bath, salt baths, half a cup of sea salt, half a cup of baking soda. What that's going to do is that's going to strip off in that astral stuff from your aura. Like Justin, you have kind of actually a similar situation in that at night, like let's say this is our body sleeping in our bed, right? Our spirit starts to drift out of our body. And in most people's place, it goes to a higher place, it receives information, and in the morning it comes back. But because your physical energy and your REM cycle's off a little bit, you're only going just a little higher than rather up here, you're still here. And so there are kind of energies that are pulling you that are actually also affecting you on an astral level and a physical level. So that bath is going to purify that and strip that off. The other thing that I want you to do is, first of all, you know, as I said earlier, it's going to be just a timing thing. So you are going to have to probably wait about another 2 weeks. But what I want you to do, and it may sound strange, but I want you every day to walk around your house and just start talking to spirit and say, okay, spirit, if you want me to build this company, if you want me to do this project, you got to help me. And literally just keep talking to the walls. It may feel like you're talking to us, but really you've got a whole bunch of beings that are in the room listening and say, okay, we got to figure out how to get this going. So you want to give them permission to be part of the program, which I think you already are, but you want to vocally do that. And I think you're going to start to see that as you're talking, you're going to have this sense of like, whoa, somebody's here, or they're giving me feedback. Like ideas will just start coming into your mind. One of the spirit guides I'm picking up around you is Archangel Raphael. And I hear him, I'm literally getting his voice in here. He's in your vibration today. And I hear him say, he said, I'm bringing the healing to the body, the mind, and the spirit. So he's hoping you have a greater integration because you're still feeling just a little bit fragmented maybe, okay? And that's no reflection on you that you're weak or bad. You're very competent, very powerful, but he's going to help integrate that, smooth that. That's going to smooth the communications. That's going to smooth just the energy during the day as well. So, you know, for them to send an archangel, because he's a very powerful angel, that tells me that, one, you have a pretty big mission coming, and they're not going to let it slide. So this is unfortunately just a timing thing. It's not that you're totally blocked and that you're failing. It's a timing thing. It's an energy alignment thing. And if you can do what we talked about, I think that's going to get that kick started. It's kind of like you're on your motorcycle and you're ready to go, and your kicks. You know how you kickstart it? At least in the old days, we used to kickstart bikes. You know. Well, you're kickstarting, but your engine's still just a little flooded, so it's settling out. And then the gas flows and you're like, whoa, I'm back in my stream. I think once we get into September, you're going to really feel like, I'm in my stream. I am in my stream.
Okay.
So it's a timing thing for you.
It makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think you're causing the blocks.
Okay.
And I don't think you're messing up. I would advise you, like I did Aaron earlier, be consistent with your daily meditation and try, if you can, do it at the same time. Because, see, the spirit people, they want to help us. And they'll come anytime we call, truthfully. But wouldn't it be nicer if we could give them like advance notice, like, hey, every day at 2 o'clock, I'm having a meeting with you guys. I think if you can kind of structure like a business meeting, seriously, because you see our spirit people are part of our team. So we want to have them. So we say, okay, we're having spirit meeting, team meeting every day at 2 o'clock. So every day at 2 o'clock, you sit down and you call them in. Call in Raphael, and say, all right, get here, get all the angels and the guides. And I think that consistency is going to make a big difference.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can I ask one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
One more quick one. You, during my reading, we did go over one significant past life, and thank you. I was just always wondered, because I'm wondering if I'm carrying it with me, my most recent past life. Am I carrying trauma, and do you have any indication what I was or who, really?
There seems to be a connection to the 1930s or 40s around you.
Okay.
And I think you were in the Holocaust.
Okay.
Yeah, you were a child in Auschwitz.
I just got goosebumps.
Now, I'm sorry to say that, but that's the past.
Yeah.
But it also tells me as a psyche, when I see that you must be an incredibly powerful soul. I mean, I know you're a powerful soul, but to see that really confirms it for me.
Wow.
Because you entered into there. See, what happens before we come into our lives, we meet with spirit guides and they tell us, like you said, I want to go to Earth. And they told you in your last life, hey, World War II is about to break out. You're going to be there. You might be in danger because you lived in Poland and you were Jewish. And you said, I'll risk it. And they said, we can't guarantee you won't be taken, because they knew like things were going to start to.
Yeah.
So they didn't see, the spirit people always warn us. So we don't actually come into this like totally clueless. We think we're clueless, but we know, and we're willing to take that risk. So you said, I'm going to go in, because see, in that life, your dream was to be a healer. Okay. And you used to say, I'm going to be a healer. I'm going to be a doctor. And you entered as a female, actually.
Okay.
And for a woman to be a doctor in those days, that was very rare. But it's time, but like that was an ambitious goal, to go into the 1930s and grow up and be a doctor. Unfortunately, when the Germans invaded Poland, you were seized, your whole family was, and put in the concentration camps. And I believe that's where you died. You didn't actually go to the gas chamber. You actually died from malnutrition and illness connected to that.
Okay.
And, I bring that up because I don't know if you have any digestive issues in your life.
Sometimes,
okay. See, sometimes when we have something that's a recurring thing in our life, that's a reflection of past life, because they show me that you had dysentery, you had stomach problems, you had parasites, because the Nazis didn't hardly feed them anything. So you carried over a little bit of that trauma. Now, that being said, that trauma is not going to block you going forward.
Okay, good.
It actually means you've come into this life, you made a soul contract with spirit. You said, if I'm coming back this time, I'm staying a long time and I'm not going through that craziness. That's why you're never going to be kidnapped, imprisoned, or in a war.
Okay.
It's not your destiny. You agreed to that, and you're going to go past 100 years old.
I am going to look like crap. Sorry.
No, you're not. And trust me, I know a good plastic surgeon. We'll fix you up.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Bless you.
You are wonderful. Thank you for being here, Lorena. It's good to see you, and thank you for your support for my work.
See you in class.
Let's see. We'll see you soon. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Yay. Oh my gosh. Isn't that great? Lorena's so wonderful. What powerful souls we're getting here today. I tell you. Well, speaking of powerful souls, we got another powerful soul here, and this is Amber.
Hello.
There you are. Hello, Amber. How are
The
you?
two powerful souls here.
Oh, look at that. Well, my gosh, cats are incredibly psychic.
Say hello. She's asleep. I just grabbed
What's
her.
her name?
Her name is Ainsley. She's my other half's cat. But I've been calling her Crab Cakes recently. Crab Cakes. Because she's kind of crabby right now. So Crab Cakes.
I love her. Oh my gosh, isn't that precious? Well, it's
I'm surprised she's staying here because she tends to like leap out of your arms, and she's probably going to leap out of my arms. I'll put her down.
Oh, is it precious? I love her. We'll make her the mascot of the show.
She would love that.
Well, welcome. You know, I'm just going to give you a little plug here because Amber's been part of my Saturday class. She's a regular student there, and she's been coming every week, and she's been helping us understand the interface of vibration of music and how it's similar to vibration of spirit. And we've all learned a lot from Amber.
Thank you.
So Amber, I want to just first of all say thank you for all of your support for my class each week. And Amber's a very talented, now I have to tell you, I know a little bit about Amber, so you know. Amber's a very talented teacher of music, and maybe you can tell us about your,
oh my
your
goodness.
music
Well,
work.
thank you, Bob, and hello to everybody. I told my subscribers today to come over here, so there might be some people from that YouTube channel, my YouTube channel over here. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I tell them about
Tell us your
time.
YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel?
Well, it's Violin Viola Masterclass.
Okay, like just right below that. Okay,
yeah,
there you
and
go.
so every on my Friday live streams, I always talk about the psychic development class and and thoughts on it. It's amazing how they're so intertwined. You know, artists, music, whatever field you're in, to have that inner world, to be connected to that, your imagination, inspiration, and have it have it help you to be successful in your life and to just be creative. So I'm enjoying your class. You got to come to Psychic Bob's class.
Oh, thank you. Yay. Well, I think you're away this week, aren't you? You're going to be traveling.
I am. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss it so much.
We're not going to have Amber's beautiful music this week, but I'm going to put a rope on her and drag her into next week's.
That's fine. I will be there. I'll be happy to be there.
Well, I'm so glad. And everybody, when you come to class, you'll get to meet Amber and see her beautiful music and hear. It is true. It's fascinating, the interface between music and spiritual truth. And I've always said it, Amber, you've heard me say, I believe that all musicians are really channels, whether they believe in the spirit world or not, it's really irrelevant. They're channels nonetheless,
Yeah, well, I think we're all tapping that imagination, which is the gateway. I always think of it as the gateway to the other, the non-physical basically. And so yeah, I just can't I can't tell you how. I mean, I've always wanted to take a psychic development class, and it is really so helpful, if anybody's out there and is curious about it. I mean, I know that many people have their own spiritual practice, and it doesn't matter what your background is. It's just going to help you to tap into it's going to help you to tap into yourself so that you can have an alignment with spirit. And, when you're aligned with spirit, how can you go wrong?
I agree with you. Well, this is so great to have you here. Thank you for being here. And I'm hearing that you have some questions for me as well.
Yes, I do. Well, one of the things I was thinking about, and I don't know if there will be any messages from spirit about this at all. But I'm just thinking about my little ones that are starting their online school, in a couple of weeks, and the love of learning has dwindled so much, and I just can't imagine. Like, one of my little ones was telling me that her schedule is 7 o'clock until I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock or something, and she has 2 30-minute breaks within that time frame.
Is this your children or is this students of yours?
Oh, these are just my students. So I call them my little ones.
Okay.
Yeah. And how can they still, is there anything from spirit just to talk about how to keep that love of learning, because the mind and our love of learning is so important. And I was thinking about decorating our space, and my music stands over here, and it's like full of meaningful things and whatever. My space is full of meaningful things, and that helps me. But I was wondering if there's anything.
Sure. Let me see. Somebody's back here mumbling. I'm hearing a voice. Who is that? Oh, my spirit guide Doris is here. Hi, Doris. Doris Stokes was a medium back in the 1970s and 80s, and she works with me. Hi, Doris. I can hear you. Yes. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, okay. Doris says to tell you, she said, now remember, she's a Cockney woman from the 1930s and 40s. And she said, well, back in my day, this is literally her words. She said, back in my day, a little bribery went a long way. So she said, you might have to bribe the students a little bit. Maybe give them a little promise of taking them somewhere special or give them a special treat.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, I mean, not me. I'm just talking about like in their like public school education for their online teachers, like their public education where they got to do all that.
Yes. She says to tell you, she said, one of the things is, she said, what the kids need to do is, she said, they have to have the support of the parents. And she says, so many parents are overwhelmed themselves, and it's creating a lot of problems for children to have the focus. And many children are getting frustrated. I'm just repeating, these are her words, she said. Yeah. And she said, I suppose that it comes back down to, in terms of the family unit, that the family must support the learning process. And she said, but you also, my dear, she's talking about you, Amber. She said, you also, my dear, are important to this process, because she said, they look to you as one of their teachers as well. And so she said, feel free to share with them your own journey and then your own challenges, because if they know that you had your challenges when you were their ages, she said, they'll have the courage to go through. So I think you want to just talk about your own journey. That's what it sounds like she's saying. And that's going to give them some inspiration, because the way she's talking to me, it sounds like some of your kids that you work with, their families aren't really giving them encouragement or support. So you're going to be actually interfacing in that role, whether you plan to or not.
Well, I just want to sit down and read them the ancient Greeks. I feel like there's no better teachers than the ancient Greeks.
Oh, yeah.
Play the music from the ancient Greeks, teach them. So
Doris just said, she said, that sounds good to Doris. She said, I wasn't very educated in my day, but that sounds good to me. She said, it's above me, but I think you can get away with it. That's her words. Okay.
Yay. Well, thanks, Doris. Thank you.
Thank you, Doris.
Well, I have another question then, and I think this may also be helpful for little ones too, to just contemplate our life purpose. If you know what your purpose is, if you can kind of tap that, then you'll have the energy and inspiration to go forward to what you need as well. And I was wondering if you could maybe talk about if you have anything about my life purpose or life purposes in general, because I know a lot of people don't know what that is, and that is so interesting.
What you're talking about is your life mission or your life theme. That's the terms I use. Life purpose is also appropriate. I use the term life theme. In terms of your life themes, you have a few life themes. One of your life themes is an educator, of course, being a music teacher, no surprise. But you also have an artist life theme. And this is really significant to your success, because if you have only an educator life theme, you'll be a great teacher. But the difference is, because you came into this incarnation with a artist life theme, this means that your teaching will become very infused with spiritual power. And you're going to see that not only are you helping people to learn music, you're inspiring their soul. And we've all been in classes where we learn the material, but we don't really remember the teacher 10 years down the road. We say, I took that class with so-and-so, or whoever they were. But the difference is that you're interfacing in people's lives as a spiritual teacher as well. Now, that doesn't mean you have to teach religion or, because in your case, you really can't discuss spiritual stuff probably. But
I throw a little in
Spirituality,
somewhere. I throw it in.
you throw it in. But like if you were teaching in the public schools, you'd have to be really underground with that.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're a private school teacher, so it's a little different. But why I'm saying this is that you're entering into this incarnation to literally not only educate people, but to get them on their own soul journeys. And so your role is bigger than just giving knowledge. It's about helping people find their life. And I'll tell you, one of the works that you're doing, Amber, whether you know it or not, is you're actually saving some lives. There are people that have come to you, and you may not even know this, but I see some children that have come from very dark backgrounds, very desperate situations. And your teaching and your music has allowed them to have the hope to keep going. So you're doing far more than just teaching what a scale is and how to play an instrument. You're giving people the ability to find power within, because when they understand music, and you've heard me say this in my class, they're channeling.
That's
True
what I
musicians
think.
are channeling.
That's what I'm so excited to I don't know how to teach that, but at the moment we're working on trying to use our imagination and connect with the sounds, and it does tap you into your own self and your own feelings and maybe what you might want. That is just,
well, when we talk about imagination, see, this is where we run into problems, because in our culture, we're taught imagination isn't real. But do you know imagination is more real than anything? Because what you create in your mind can manifest in the earth. Thomas Edison was asked in an interview one time, how did you create the light bulb? What an amazing thing. I mean, think how much the light bulb has changed our world. We have car lights, interior lights, we have lights in our computer. Light bulbs have changed the world. And you know what Thomas Edison said when they asked him, how'd you do it? He said, I don't know, I just dreamed it up one day. It was just a thought in my mind, just an imagination. So when we talk about imagination, people in our modern society, what happens is they think that imagination is for children and that we need to outgrow that because we're mature adults, and they disconnect from their spiritual self. So I want you to always infuse that sense of wonder and imagination into your students, because that is giving them true power. The thing is that the imagination interfaces with multiple levels of reality, not just our conscious mind, but it connects with our subconscious and our unconscious mind. And it is through the subconscious mind that I believe there is an opening, like a portal, a doorway, if you will, to the spirit world. So when we teach children to play, to imagine, we're helping them actually develop their inner psychic connection as well. And so when you do that, you're going to not only help them have fun and be more spiritual, they'll be amazingly better musicians because they will not be blocked in their channeling process. So I want to encourage you in your work to encourage play and fun and imagination, because some of the kids that you work with, I hate to say it, but they go home to homes where everything is shut down on every level, emotionally, psychically, and they may have all the money in the world, but they don't have the true power that you bring to them. So your work is far more vital than you realize, and you're here on a big mission. You're definitely an old soul.
Oh, well, I got to hold Spirit's hand for that. I always try.
Yes, you do. Very good.
I always try to step out of the way. So, well, that's they have lots of work to do. I'm just gonna just try to keep walking.
Well, you're doing good. The thing is, we get down here and we forget our life themes. Well, we actually know it, but we forget it. We try to act like we don't know. Like, I've known all my life I had a psychic life theme. But, I didn't want to admit that. I was like, that was weird. I wanted to be a normal person. I just wanted to have a corporate job. But, you cannot ignore your life themes, because then eventually it will push you into a corner where you have to face it. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, just embrace your life theme. Your life will get better. So many people, I'll tell them their life theme. I'll say, you have, like one person I told, I said, you have a life theme. This one lady I refer, I said, you have a life theme of an artist and you're supposed to be a dancer. And she said to me, I know it. I've known it all my life. In fact, she was enrolled in university in a dance program, even got a scholarship. But her family told her, you need to be an accountant. That's the more proper life. You need to give up that fantasy that you can be a dancer. And unfortunately, she quit the dance program, even though she had a full scholarship and was on her way to great success, because her family told her to be an accountant. And I'll tell you, her whole life fell apart because she walked away from her life theme. And when you ignore your life theme, nothing really ever turns out good. So that's why I tell people, I know you get scared to hear your life theme, and it's like, oh my God, that's a big life theme. Did I take that on? I don't know. Just trust me. When you embrace it, your life will get better. Once I embraced my psychic life theme, Amber, my whole world changed. I went from being literally homeless and broke. People don't know this. PsychicBob was not always successful. I used to be very poor, and I was very unknown, and I had nothing, literally nothing. I even skipped meals. I had no money. And when I said, I'm going to embrace my themes, my teacher told me, she said, you know what you're supposed to do. And I was like, but I knew. And when we knew and we just give up fighting it, our lives get better because we came here to do our life themes. So that life theme, that mission is so important. So I want to encourage you, honor your artist theme. As an artist, your challenge in your life theme is to keep creating.
Yeah.
You can't just say, well, I learned how to play music, now I'll just teach it. No, you have to always create too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's honoring your theme. So that means you might want to start writing your own music.
I've started improvising, and that has been incredible because that is definitely a channeling experience. But I do have one thought that's coming to mind, and that's just the idea that sometimes we don't want to, right? I actually have kind of like an imposter syndrome, if anybody knows what that means. Like you feel kind of uncomfortable, and you talking about not wanting to take that first step. But it just makes me think we're not the only people that struggle with that. Even in the Bible, I think it was Moses was like, I don't really want to do this. And God was like, I'm going to give you the tools. It's fine. You got this. So I feel like we have to ask Spirit to help us. We have to be open to listen to that. I could talk to you for like an hour. Can we do a live stream together
Everything is by the Spirit, and that's what we have to remember. You said it perfectly. So you know what? I think the good news I can tell you today is you're on your mission. You're on your life theme. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep that improvisation and keep opening these minds because you're making a difference far deeper than just them learning music. Not that learning music isn't important, but there's even more than saying, okay, my students all know how to play a scale. Okay. And I don't know the terms, so I'm saying that right, but you're changing lives, and you're going to see in the coming years, you'll remember what I told you today, because you're going to have a student, it'll probably be about 4 or 5 years down the road. But I see a lady, a young girl, she'll probably be a teenager then, coming to you, and she's going to say, Amber, thank you for putting up with me when I was 8 and such a nightmare. And you'll say, why? You're never nice. She'll say, you don't know. I was in such a horrible place. My parents depressed me, and I actually was about to commit suicide. But when I came to your music class, I got the hope to live. And that's going to be a message that you'll get. And you'll remember I told you this. That's a prophecy for your future. And you'll know then, you'll understand the power that you are engaged in and the blessing. So just do your mission. Walk over the Spirit every day. I always say, when you don't know what to do, what do? Pray. We all forget. Well, talk about spirits. People call me all the time and say, Bob, I have this trouble. I can't connect to my spirit God. Oh my God. I said, well, just pray to God then. God's the greatest spirit. Who's the biggest of all the spirits? God, right? So if you can't connect to your God, talk to God. He'll hear you. I promise you. Okay. And eventually you'll connect with your God. But God's the greatest spirit. Thank you for being here. I hope I answered your questions today.
Mom, this was so fun. I could talk to you forever. I hope I didn't talk too much. So thank you so much.
I've enjoyed it immensely. Thank you for being here. Well, listen, keep it here. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in class next week.
Absolutely. I will be there.
Blessings to you. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, guys, what an amazing group of people. Well, listen, Psychic Bob has more readings to do today, so I got to wrap this up. But like we were talking about, if you want to join my psychic development class, I'm going to be teaching this Saturday. It's going to be a class on Zoom. You don't have to have Zoom. I will send you a link. Just go register, and I'll send you a link via email. Just have your computer and email open around 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, tomorrow, Saturday. And then when you click on the link, you'll come right into the classroom, and I'll be teaching. So you guys are best. Thanks for being here. I want to say thank you to all of our participants today, those who got drawn for today's show. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Lorena. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Aaron. You guys are the best. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you to all of you in the audience who came out today. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Listen, if you want to get on this show, be on Psychic Bob's Friday FaceTime. FaceTime is Psychic Bob, however we call it. I haven't figured out what the name of the show is. Just send me an email, to my email, PsychicBobHickman@gmail.com. That link will be in the info box below. And next week, we'll have another drawing. So come out, put in the header of the email, FaceTime show, so I'll know, I'll be able to separate it out. And I'll be doing a drawing this week, and I'll notify who's going to be on. So be here for that. And next Friday, we'll have another FaceTime with Psychic Bob. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. I'm going to have my psychic class. I got a day of readings, and then it probably won't be till later. We're going to do another late night walk with Lord Isia. And I'm going to go out under the night sky. We always like our Saturday night walks. We'll go down to the creek at night. We'll have that. So make sure to be here. We'll see what happens. You guys are best. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And I hope you'll join my class. So register at my website. You guys best. Love you. Oh, and if you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, I know a lot of you have said, gee, how can I get more? Call my office, 703-825-3929, and we'll get you on the schedule. You guys rock. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And until then, may all of you always blessed be.